Welcome to the 2019 APTA Nationals, presented locally by PNC, with thanks also to the APTA's national official sponsors, Viking and Uline. We are live from the Fox Chapel Racquet Club in Pittsburgh on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Lauren Mandel, along with Brad Easterbrook, bringing you a first round men's match between the unseeded team of Carl Levanat and Faisal Rhazail, I couldn't remember his first name, and Guga Goncalves and Andrew Orban. And both teams are unseeded. And Brad, why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
Sure. So we have Gustavo Goncalves he's the director of racket sports at the Chevy Chase Club in Maryland. His partner, Andrew Orban, also from the Maryland, D.C. area. And they're playing against Carl Levanat, who is the director of racket sports for the Country Club of Darien in Connecticut, and Faisal Rhazail, who is director of racket sports for the Tokenique Club in Connecticut, and he's from Stamford, Connecticut. So we look forward to a good match here. Why don't we take a look at the players on the court? And starting in our bottom right here in the blue pullover is Faisal Rhazail. And he's a very talented player. His partner, Carl Levanat, with the W paddle there and the white cap and the all black. And on the far side, left-handed player is Gustavo Goncalves, actually more affectionately known as Guga, or basically everybody calls him Guga. And his partner, Andrew Orban. And it looks like a really good match out here today, Lauren. You got two teams, or at least the only unknown out there really is Andrew Orban.
And he and Guga just played in the Peachtree and got to the finals.
Finals there. They played President's Cup yesterday, so they played a lot together. 3 out of the 4 players, Goncalves and Levanat and Rhazail have all been around the top 30, so on and so forth, in the country at various times, playing a little less these days. It's good to see them out here at Nationals. So I look forward to a highly contested match out here. On the far side, Goncalves is widely known as very talented. He's got a lot of offense. He's got a huge forehand, can dip it, can even hit the one-handed backhand. But his choices are, questionable at best, or they have been at times. He's a very talented player, though. His partner, Andrew Orban, I watched him hit a few returns yesterday. He's got skills. He hit some great returns, some really good racket skills. He's got some speed. So looks like a great match. And then Rhazail can hit the ball forehand, backhands, really talented, and Levanat as well. So should be a really good battle out here.
Amazing, right? A rounded 128 match.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look at the draw. And you can see here, you got Goncalves and Orban, about 4 down there, against Levanat and Rhazail. This is our men's first round match in the 128 draw. The first seed. Oh, I think we got the umpire coming up here.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Drew Shields talking in there. So the first seeded team that either of these teams would make would be against Burish and Stojsavljevic if they go through. So this round here, the 128s, this is not an easy first round
match between Faisal Rhazail and Carl Levanat versus Guga Goncalves and Andy Orban.
And there's our umpire, Drew Shields, up in the chair there. It's a much nicer day. Yesterday was freezing cold. It was,
it was
felt
bitterly
like
cold.
20s, Today, probably mid-30s. I'm not really sure what the weather is, or take a look at it, but mid-30s, higher temp.
And there's some nice cloud cover.
So we got no sun issues, which we've had in the past at various times. It's actually a perfect day to play out here.
It's so nice for the players when the sun isn't an issue.
So what I look for in this match, Rhazail and Levanat have played together a lot of times. And Orban and Goncalves have played together, a bunch. They played all day yesterday in the President's Cup. The big X factor is seeing Orban out there against, with the 3 experienced players.
Yeah, on a national stage.
Yeah, Goncalves has a huge lefty forehand, a really good lefty serve, and Rhazail and Levanat both have good forehands as well. Rhazail's I would have loved to seen him play more and more over the years. He's kind of taken a break from the tour a little bit. Very busy, got a beautiful family, and he's got a great forehand, moves well on the court. He's talented. You see him with a little practice shadow strokes there. I wonder if we're switching sides here. I think that's what they're going to be doing. It looks like, based on the choices, or whenever you have a lefty on the court, Lauren, oftentimes if they want the lefty to start, he wants to never be facing into the sun. So not sure who's starting here or if they chose it in a way, but they're definitely switching sides, it seems.
Even though the sun doesn't appear that it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, but it could come out. It
come
looks
out.
like it's fighting the clouds, and I got to be honest, it's cloudy out there, but there's a glare.
Yeah.
You know, there's a pretty good glare out there, and you can see how white it is on the top of our screen. You know, so there's something, so it's better safe than sorry for sure. I believe that, you know, if Goncalves were serving on the other side, he would be looking right into the sun, so. All right, so we got some pre-game discussion going on, some early strategies. Rhazail and Levanat know Goncalves very well. They were all pros in the local area for many years, and now Goncalves is down in Chevy Chase, Maryland. But they don't know Orban as well, but we'll see. I think Levanat might have played him yesterday in President's Cup.
Yep.
So this is some good early strategy here. Goncalves to serve,
Goncalves
and
to
we're
serve,
underway. So the early going, they're clearly just working the middle on Rhazail's backhand, and they sort of lay it up to the forehand.
This is already longer than any point in the women's match we did, where they were just
Bang, bang.
bang, bang.
Seeing a good mix of spin overheads here from Goncalves and Orban. And again, that's Goncalves on the right, on the bottom side of your screen, and Orban in the hat on the left side of your screen on the bottom. Oh, great
15
transition forehand there from Goncalves.
But how tough is it to face against a lefty with a lot of spins when the ball bounces the opposite way? Obviously, you play against a lot more righties than lefties.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. You know, lefties seem to, people always get, I'll use the technical term, weirded out by the lefty spin. You know, it moves in a different, and people always think that it moves a different. The reality is you have to set up differently on the return of serve. The ball's going to break way to the left as opposed to the right. So the places you move on the court are a little different. So that's 15 all. Yeah. Levanat nor Rhazail on the other side there, neither one of them has a very, they're not going to do much with their backhands at all. You know, they both have pretty good forehands. They're not going to do anything really with their backhands. And they'll play a pretty standard game, like no surprises, meaning not a lot of sudden blitzes or moves here and there. They'll lob, look to set up the forehand, take it when it comes. If they get their returns going, they have some pretty big returns. So you can see there already Rhazail trying to track down that lefty spin. See there you see a little miscommunication from Orban. That should have been Orban's overhead. Good read of Rhazail's positioning there and slipping it behind him.
$30 all.
Roller to die there in the corner.
This is a good shot. There's a real feeling out start to a lot of matches here, as opposed to the bang bang of the last one where everybody was really just crushing the ball. These guys
30-40.
are hitting off-pace drives, controlling the point, filling each other out. We got a break point early, though. But that's the move you're going to see. Typical move, looking over, set it up the forehand. He had a decent look at that. Didn't really step up into it. So far, all decent choices, all sort of right plays, but nothing specifically dynamic. That's how I'd look at it right now.
Advantage, Goncalves.
That's going to be an important shot, that forehand in the ad court. He's missed it a couple times, but clearly Levanat's setting that shot up.
He's got a good forehand. The biggest issue really is the footwork. You know, the movement getting set up. I think he missed the last one. He didn't get behind it, didn't move his feet enough for it.
He's a big guy, so he can cover the whole court with barely moving. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't move your feet.
That's good dipping forehand from Rhazail. I'd like to see him follow it up with a look for a blitz or something. Well, this is great. They're already having good conversations in the first game here. He's talking about probably where he's going to serve it, how he's going to serve to Rhazail yet. Rhazail hasn't felt comfortable trying to drive the Goncalves serve yet.
Yeah, he looks like he's still sort of measuring it.
Yeah, Goncalves hasn't even hit a serve like into the side wire yet. He can hit that one that bites into the side wire, the big lefty spin serve, but he hasn't gone for it yet. And Rhazail hasn't made him pay at all yet either, so never need to go for more unless your opponents make you pay.
Yeah, I saw wide.
Okay, that was a question call. It was tough for me to see even on our monitor here, but.
Advantage, Goncalves.
All right. Goncalves for the first game points. This is a pretty long game. You might have had 3 or 4 games in the last match at this point, Lauren.
Yeah. The first 4 games were very quick in the last match.
Deuce.
Square up to the first volley that time. Bad angle on his paddle. I spoke a little with Andy Orban yesterday. It was a pleasure to get to meet him for really the first time. Tries for a seeing eye backhand. Tries to put it on the outside of the line.
Looked nice, though.
I mean, he hit it. It looked nice for Goncalves, too, when he called it out.
Yeah, no.
And as I was saying, I got to speak to Andy Orban yesterday, and, you know, he's obviously an accomplished tennis player who's really getting into the game, and he's excited to come out, play President's Cup,
Orban,
and
they lead 1 game to
just
0.
get more and more experience out there, which is the big thing for everybody.
Yeah, and for someone like that to have, who's relatively newer to the game, to have President's Cup and then 3 days of nationals, it's really a great way to get the experience.
Yeah, and for anybody looking even for more experience, there's some great events even after nationals. There's the APTA, national, not the national champs, but the national team championships where the rated teams are coming up and all going out to Chicago. You could form a team from any region or mixed regions, and it's all equal level play. So it's a terrific way to get experience.
And there's B Nationals.
Yep, B Nationals coming up as well. There's a lot of conferencing here so far.
Yeah, it feels like it's the
In
middle
the
of
first
the match.
game or two, it feels like, But the funny thing is, this is a big
15
deal,
love.
this first round match for these teams. If a team wants to make a move up the rankings or start to compete with the top teams, you got to win these first and second rounds and make it as far as you can in the tournament. So for these guys, this is a huge match. I wouldn't say the tournament rests on this for these guys, but they're not here just to get a match against top teams. They're here to advance, try to go as far as they can, and give themselves a chance to beat one of the top teams. And as I said before, see, there's Goncalves with the forehand. He can really zip that around. He can roll it, flatten it out. He's got a good forehand. I thought Orban might take that one. Ooh, he was
15
there,
all.
but he tried to make a winning volley, so he pushed at it as opposed to
Yeah, you could see there was too
just
much
blocking it
movement.
back. Good bail there from Levanat. Mr. Wide.
30-15.
There's a first big forehand from Orban. Just
Out.
back.
40-15.
That's actually a shot that Goncalves says it's very good. If you overhit the ball to the center of the court, he can sling the ball left and right with his lefty forehand. He's very accurate with it. It's probably his most dangerous shot. There you go. Ah, he read it. He called out the nick. He climbed up the line.
Rhazail,
Just
Levanat.
didn't get over the top.
Too much swing.
1-1, first set.
Feels like 5-all, Brad.
It's got an interesting feel. They're really feeling this match out. I love it. So now you're going to see you got the lefty-righty thing where the backhands are in the middle when you have Orban serving over
15
there. So
love.
you'll see them here. They're not going to need to switch at the net when they're serving into the ad court to Levanat. But on the other side, you're going to see a switch, or you should see it, from Goncalves and Orban. Oh, I think
30
it
love.
roller, little inside spin, but I think it hit the
Hit
seam.
the seam also.
And it just shot back at Levanat, and he was stuck.
You don't see a lot of clean winners on a paddle court.
No, that was a good shot. That was a tough one. Now it's probably going to be a hit and switch. No, he's hitting and staying back. Nice get from Goncalves. Orban got a little stuck in what he was doing there. He had a chance to get back into the net. All right, getting some movement out here. Good drop earlier there from Goncalves. Oh, he's trying to make it
30.
too good over his backhand side. You know what's interesting is Orban's wearing the sunglasses. So I don't know if it's the glare getting to him, but we did talk about it's cloudy out there. I don't know about you. You like wearing sunglasses when you played?
I do. I never used to, and then and now I always wear them for a long time now. And you get really used to having them on, so even if it's not that sunny, I'll still wear them.
Goncalves, Orban. They lead 2-1. First set.
Well, there's not much separating these teams, Brad.
No, this should be a really close match. I mean, what we've seen and what we see often, you know, when you move from like the top tier of teams, you know, and you take that step down, these guys know what they're doing. They're playing the right way. You're just not seeing anything dynamic, you know, the quick moves and the fast blitzes. And, you know, Goncalves can do a little. They can all do a little more of that, to be honest. But right now, what they're doing is playing a conservative game, and which is not bad. You know, trying to give their opponents very little. If they're giving them a look, they're going to be there trying to make a position volley. You know, but they're not taking any undue risks. You've seen a high percentage of serves in. I think that was a fault. Yep. Called wide.
15.
So it's a good, solid game. But that element that you're missing, you know, that quick release forehand from a Durant or a Powers, or the speed, you know, of a Max Lepaver blitzing in, or the clean hitting of a Martin Bosch blasting the ball from both wings. You know, there's a place to hit the ball on the court here that's safe. You know, that's not one of them. You got to be careful of the Goncalves forehand. He missed that, but you know, there are safer places to hit the ball, which means you have some outs.
Football.
So these guys are going to, ooh.
15-30. Yeah,
how about
you were well
that?
with the purple with the left foot. Yeah.
He's going to ask him, and all players, you know, Lauren, get warned before the match, and the umpire is there, and he will call foot faults. He said he was moving with his left leg. So we're going to have to take a look at that and watch it. You know, interestingly enough, in a close match like that, a quick foot fault call or something like that, it's a big point. It's 15-30 now. Now they're seeming to go at Orban for the first time here, really making him work ball after ball. He's content.
15,
and then
40.
you see just a quick switch, a deviation from the plan. That was more of...
That switch almost always gets you into trouble.
Yeah, and I think he just got irritated with Orban lobbing all those balls. A few of those were actually hittable from Orban. Just didn't take them.
Yeah. Well, he missed that one earlier. Maybe it's in his head.
Great shot there. Good spot there from the Orban forehand. That's a good roller there from Levanat. He actually has a pretty good roller. He sort of snaps it. Nice. That's a great angle. It actually made me jump back a little. Standing here in the booth was coming right into the camera there.
They can't hit us in here, Brad.
Perfect camera placement by our production. Thank you for that, though, Lauren. They can't hit us. I'll keep that in mind. From our production crew placing that camera right there. There it is again.
It's a great view. It's a great view.
Right on cue. Well, especially if he's bringing that roller. So you see Goncalves just flipping that forehand around. He hasn't brought the heater at all yet. He's bringing all heavy rollers with spots. They're like body shots. You know what? A couple of loose points. Well, the other one, he hit a great overhead into the crease. Just a loose error there.
That one he wanted to hit.
Advantage, Levanat.
Well, he did hit.
Yes, he wanted to hit it over.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. His spot was good. Right in between the players, off Rhazail's hip. That's a good move there from Rhazail. You see him slide over to the side wire. There's another good move, but he misses the forehand.
Deuce.
Again, people just a little late on those balls. We're not getting over them a little bit. Orban's got to let that go through, play it
Advantage,
off the screen. He
Levanat.
got stuck. Move his feet out of the way.
No.
A little battle here. They're battling themselves right now, just making a few errors at crucial times.
Deuce. Advantage, Levanat.
I'm not sure why Rhazail switched the play right to Goncalves' forehand there. Oh,
Thought about
yeah,
thought about the blitz. It's a
I'd
good
like to
lob.
Seen it. No, this is a good point. They're battling it out. I like it. Levanat Rhazail got a break. They got a game point here. They've lost the last 3 game points. They want to close it out here. They can. They're just softening them up with lob after lob after lob. 3-quarter drive. Oh.
Deuce.
Yeah, but that's not the one you want to miss if you're going to miss there. You want to hit your best shot, something that's going to do damage. I think that ball was more of just a probing backhand. Great forehand there from Goncalves. Wow, good point.
Tough to win a point out here.
Well, there have been a lot of lob errors. I mean, we've only played
Yeah.
3 games. We're on our way, well, we're very deep into a 4th game here. Basically played the equivalent of 4 or 5 games with how many deuces there have been here. So they're break point now. But there have been at least 6 or 7 lob misses. That's a lot. You know, you don't want to make 6 or 7 lob misses in a match.
Well, I think it's, nobody's going for too much other than Guga on his forehand. Nobody's really going for it, so they're really trying to make something happen with their lobs.
Yeah, but the one shot you never see, a winning shot on. You never see a lob end up to be a winner. I mean, that's almost never seen.
No.
I mean, if you're getting too greedy, you got to be careful. It is important to control your lobs and move your opponent out of position in a way where you can anticipate what they're hitting next so you can get your offensive shots, but clearly not at the expense of making 6 or 7 lob errors. These points are just battles.
Orban finally drove one off the screen there.
If this is any indication of the whole rest of the match, this is going to throw off the whole tournament schedule. We're going to be a 3-hour here. We're going to be this could be a 3-hour war. And from what I've seen early on, there is very little separating these teams.
Oof.
Oh, he pegged him, which was a smart play. And I know that Goncalves is not upset by that at all.
Deuce.
He would have done the same.
Yep. He had to. That was the safest place to hit it.
And it's very nice. He holds up his hand saying, hey, I didn't mean to hit you, even though he did mean to hit him. But not in a bad way.
Right.
Just winning the point. He drew him out of position with the leg-guard drop there. And all good blitz, but he takes his paddle back and hits the volley instead of just keeping the hands in front and closing out. It was a great setup. I like that play because Goncalves doesn't always hit the return hard, but he dips it down well. So the ability to blitz will be there for Orban and Goncalves.
Another deuce.
Deuce.
I love it. I think they might be calling a play here. We might see a blitz here. I'm not sure. Nope. Would have been a good time for it. It was a perfect low return. Ooh. He just misplayed
Advantage.
that
Levanat.
dunking overhead there from Levanat. Oh. Yeah, he's upset with that.
Deuce.
Good look. He's missed a couple so far. I'd like to see him move his feet into that a little more. Yeah, that's the biggest weapon I've seen on the court so far is the Goncalves forehand. He's dipping it down,
Advantage. Orban.
creating some movement up there, kind of hitting it off their hips. Another conference there from Orban and Goncalves. It's advantage now, break point for Orban and Goncalves.
This has been a war of a game.
Watch the Nick. Should have been called out help there. That's dangerous overhead. Gets
Deuce.
away with it. Those down-up overheads that don't go to the side screens, it's the most dangerous shot you can hit out there. All right, so deuce number, have you been keeping
No, I
track?
wish I had been
Kelly, you got it,
counting.
our production crew? 15? He's just throwing out a number, though. You don't know. It's probably deuce 15 at least, I think, here, Lauren. Now, we're going to see who wants this game. All right, who you taking? think if we take somebody, maybe it'll change it up
Okay,
here.
I'll take Goncalves
Advantage,
and Orban.
Orban.
now that
Okay,
it's
then
their
I'm
ad.
taking Levanat and Rhazail
Good.
here. It's got to end at some point in time. Let's go.
This point.
I'm going to take a rooting interest. Called out, and that is a break in our first break of the
Game.
match. Great job.
Goncalves, Orban.
That's a tough
They
way
lead
to
3
lose a
games to 1.
very long service game.
They battled back and forth. Look at that. As soon as we pick somebody, just like that. Perfect job. We got to use our commentator powers more, Lauren.
Our superpowers.
Our commentator superpowers. The jinx and the things like that. So we're 40 minutes in already. Our other live stream matches finished their first set. Your match was close to midway of the second set by now. The one that you
women's
called
match.
before, the
Yeah,
women's
yeah,
match.
Yeah. Well, you can see. I mean, as you said, they're playing classic paddle. They all have good skills. Nobody's really trying to end the points with power except for Goncalves. And so you have long points.
Yep. And, you know, you're not seeing that dynamic quick blitz or the feints or the move. We saw one blitz feint,
Right.
you know, from Rhazail. Right now, they're clearly working Levanat. I wonder if that's going to become a thing. There are strategy considerations. They're working him ball after ball. He's going to have to start getting that lob up down the line. Look to the middle for that. That's the ball. Nice pickup. See Rhazail get his feet moving forward
15
and
up.
follow that up with some extra pressure moving into the court. If he moves forward a little bit, it puts a lot of pressure on that Goncalves half volley. The other one, he just kind of eased it back in with no pressure at all. Yeah, you can see Rhazail's upset. He's missed 2 or 3 forehands that are, you'd have to say they're in his wheelhouse. Putting some spin and cut on these overheads. He goes to the roller there.
30
Footwork.
left.
Yeah, I don't mind him stepping in and hitting it and getting setting up, but he's
But he didn't
off
really
his
hit
back
it.
heels and he's hitting a push
Yeah.
punch forehand. You know, even if it's over, without it being followed up by something like speed or a blitz, there's really nothing there. You know, he's not going to get a point from it. He's not going to force an error,
30-15.
although he
That
just
one
got
did.
one there. But put it this way, I guess the better way to say he's going to miss it a lot more than he's going to force errors with it. So he'll have a net loss overall playing a shot like that. That's a good looking ball. It's a good looking lob. There you go, Rhazail putting a little more air on his forehand. All the other ones he's missed, he's netted. See, those are balls, like if you're looking to the next year, like watching a Wanaraya play or something like that, that he would take with a heavy topspin moving forward, putting the extra pressure on you. You can see a little different strategy there from Levanat. He's just picking away with sort of like quick punch drives almost.
Right, well, to continue with the Araya example, he's looking for a way to end the
Oi.
point.
I think there might have been a little miscommunication. I think Levanat held up
40,
because he
15.
saw Rhazail move there, and he didn't pull the trigger on that shot. Yeah, you're going to see, you know, a guy like Araya play in transition there, move forward, blitz the next ball. put a ton of pressure on the volleyer. There's the big forehand. He has that. I'd like to see him hit a few more of those, start getting more into it. Great lob.
Down up overhead.
Another one in the net, though.
Yeah.
He's got to,
Game.
hit that ball up and out.
Orban.
It's a good look, but
They
again,
lead
the footwork, the movement
first
into
set,
it,
4 games to 1.
little bit of mistakes, and Goncalves and Orban, 4-1 lead. So, Lauren, what do you think? If you're Levanat Rhazail, what do you, and do you have a confidence here? Do you think you're doing it wrong? What do you think they need to do differently?
No, I think they talk to each other and say, look, the only reason we're losing right now is because we've missed some balls. We've had 2 or 3 times in the middle where we've miscommunicated and hasn't known who's going to hit the ball. And, when we've had our forehands, which are our shots to take, we've missed some of them. So clean that up, and we're right back in the match.
Yeah, they've missed more than some of them.
Yeah.
They've missed 75% of them, and that's just not going to fly. And they're going to have to start finding a specific form of attack or game plan. They're just sort of like, do they want to work over Orban, create some movement, find his backhand, things like that, and make them get a little more uncomfortable in the backcourt.
And like you said, they're hitting dipping shots, Rhazail and Levanat, but they're not really following them with the blitz.
Well, you do have to play to your strengths. Levanat's, he's not the fastest player, right? So you do have to figure out your strengths, but he does have a big forehand that he can pull out and mix and match with the others. Well, there you see. Now, he'll hit that Goncalves more than most. He actually flicks that backhand there. It's a great shot. That's nice. But see, there's a play where Levanat should be staying up tight to the net and looking to cut off that ball, from Goncalves. Oh, nice. That's a great shot. But Levanat can hit a hard forehand. He can hit a dipping forehand. He can move it around. I think he should put that little push forehand into his back pocket right now and look to set up, the bigger, better shot when he gets it.
15 all.
There you go. Called it long.
30-15.
Okay, doesn't seem to be any question. No overrule, so 30-15. I like that from Orban, though. He took a strike. Yeah, he seems to be perfectly comfortable. He's not biting when they're baiting him a little bit on balls that he could drive. He's continuing to lob, but he will take strike from time to time. There, I like that move. At least it's something that adds some pressure.
Ooh.
Oh.
I thought at the last minute that was going to drop in.
It's close. He got caught a little flat-footed there. Nice spot low into the corner. Ooh, that right there, though, is Goncalves' one of his best shots. He missed it, but
he was at the service line when he hit that too.
Good cut-off volley there.
Game. Levanat Rhazail.
All right, 4 games to 2
Orban.
now.
Lead the first set, 4 games to 2.
Whoop, bounced it off his feet. Ricky's only got 20 seconds to get in play. Quick, start the countdown. Great positioning there from Orban. Now, I like the fact that he looked for something. You just got to make sure you're volleying it, hitting it down so the guy has to volley up. Like that was a much better ball to blitz on. Good job. And then the other one that Levanat missed, if you don't get in there and you don't get it high, let it go through. Your partner will bail you out in the backcourt and hit up a high lob. You don't need to play the tough ball. It's another shot that Goncalves hits pretty well. If you go high to his backhand, he sort of pushes it down sharper than you think some of the time. So it looks like he's going to block lob it, but he actually hits it low. That is the forehand I want to see more out of Levanat.
I'm sorry. Sure, sir. 15-all.
It's 15-all, yeah. Got a little loss of the score there. That was a big forehand there from Levanat. That's what I want to see. There's the blitz. Nice. Oh, good volleys from Orban.
Orban withstood that barrage well.
He did great, but that was a good play. You see, finding a little more ways to create in the points now from Levanat and Rhazail. And it doesn't look like they're doing it in a way where it's out of control or out of emergency. They're just picking it up another notch or finding another way to gain some points or pressure because they didn't win this point yet. Good volley.
There's that backhand you were talking about. He flicks off the screen.
Oh, good lob volley there. Oh! He must have thought that was going in the net, or it must have clipped the net. One or the other.
30-15.
He was blocking it with our body, so we didn't have an angle on that, but it just slipped right by him.
Yeah, something happened.
Great shot there from Goncalves.
30-50.
All right, 30-15.
40-15.
Oh, tricky. They were both looking for the hard ball, and he pushed up a little high lob. Low lob, actually.
Left court on the overhead. Great move by Goncalves. That makes it 5-2.
Goncalves Orban. They lead the first set 5-2. Here you go, bud.
All right, 5-2. I like the couple of things I saw there from Levanat and Rhazail. You know, in terms of a couple of blips move here and there. They're just going to have to execute. You know, they're making way too many mistakes of the drives they're taking. Yeah, they're just not playing well enough at this point in time.
Exactly. You like their game plan. I mean, the game plan looks good. But if you can't execute, it doesn't matter how good your game plan is.
Yep.
Ooh, there's a missed hit of a forehand.
Yeah, bud. Yep. Love.
the last time Levanat served, it was that 15-20 deuce game. That was so crucial. That was the first break of the match. Just sort of launched Goncalves and Orban. I mean, there's ball. He just
15 all.
It's the right shot. He's got it. He just can't miss it. That's just a lack of execution. If he makes it, they retake the net. That's what
there it is.
Goncalves can
The
do.
slingshot.
Yes, the sling forehand. He's so good at that. It's his best shot, that one. When you hit it off that screen, he can hit it either direction. And you really got to stay tight on your line against him. Lower than the net.
15-30.
Just didn't quite get up there in time. Oh.
15-40.
All right.
2 set points.
2 set points. We're going to see if they can regroup now. It's definitely the now or never, but good play there. You see when Goncalves just calls for help. Oof. Oh! Way ahead of that ball. Ball didn't come up high enough either.
30-40.
Another set point.
Nice.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay, back to deuce.
You guys grab me with that one. Thank you.
All right.
It seems only fitting that this set wouldn't end quickly.
Well, it's been a battle. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, clearly Goncalves and Orban have the upper hand, obviously by the score and by the play, but nothing's out of reach by any means for Levanat and Rhazail. They just got to play
Orban.
better, and they got to come up with a specific plan of action. They're sort of just going about their business. They don't have a spot where they're hitting it here. They're playing Orban. They're definitely giving Goncalves too many forehands. You don't want to. Goncalves shouldn't see more than 1 or 2 forehands for the rest of the, hopefully in the second set. I like that play, make him move a little, and you got to sling the ball over to Goncalves on his backhand side or go long and low deep to him. If you're going to go, yeah, see, I don't want to see that at all.
Ooh.
Oh, goodness gracious. But that's not what we can, if Rhazail and Levanat
That's not what they want to build
they don't
their
want to
game
be
on.
doing that. Right.
Yeah.
They cannot see that shot come out of them. If you're going to combine that, which I would consider mostly just a lack of plan or strategy, with a lack of execution, you're not going to have a good day. It's going to be rough for you out there.
But they're keeping themselves in it.
Well, it's not over yet, that's for sure. And we all know how quickly paddle turns. One shot like that,
Advantage.
it's
Levanat.
like the butterfly effect, and all of a sudden somebody can go off the rails. That's good forehand there. Working. I think he's trying to kick to that crease, but he hasn't been able to do it yet. I like the idea. Great. Switching back.
Ooh. Goncalves just got there for that.
Good look from Orban. Nice. Oh, all right. Way to come back from 15-40.
Yeah, they played some
Game.
good points at the end of that
Levanat,
game there.
Rhazail, Goncalves, and Orban lead the first set, 5-3. Love 15.
Ooh. There's that footwork again. They're creating movement. And you see them, they caught him. They just made him move. Couldn't get his feet
15
underneath him.
all.
Good job the way they did that. Oh, goodness.
Did he miss it?
Oh, he missed it by a good 6 inches.
15,
I
30.
thought so. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's an easy ball. They got Levanat out of position again, and then he just overcooked it. They're clearly moving Levanat now, making him run. Oh, 15-40.
A couple missed
40.
volleys in this game.
Yep. I mean, you wouldn't say that was a particularly difficult ball, but good job by Levanat Rhazail getting him off the net and driving it on while he's off the net. Nice play by Orban, good recognition. And even better volley there by Levanat.
$30, $40.
Got one back.
Yeah, this is actually kind of I like this. It's a little danger zone here for Goncalves and Orban. They were up 5-2 pretty handily. They had some chances in that one, and now they've the break back. And now here's where you get the little
Rhazail,
clench,
Levanat.
you know. You got to close out the set. If you don't,
Goncalves,
you're
Orban,
like, oh my God, we were up
Lead the
5-2.
first
We
set.
had points, you know.
5-4.
So this will be
It's
interesting
not
to see
easy
how they.
to close out paddle sets and matches. It's
That's
not.
all it is. But I have to say they gave that game away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Goncalves
Google made
missed an
4 mistakes.
easy volley, a fault, and he missed an easy overhead when they had him out of position.
And he missed a first volley on the first point also.
Yeah,
He
I
missed
mean,
all
so-
of them. Yeah.
You know, kudos to Levanat Rhazail making
Yep.
him play, but
Yep.
yeah. But being up 5-2, 40-15 or 15-40, I think they had 2 break points actually.
They did.
You know, that's
15 love.
a big turnaround, and now we got 15 love. All of a sudden, a missed return, and now we're seeing basically
You got to have a short memory in paddle. You got to forget that game.
Nice.
And start
from Orban
again.
there. Yeah, but we're seeing out of Goncalves and Orban, the other thing where, they're just missing. They're not necessarily being forced to miss, just missing. That's what we saw a little out of Levanat and Rhazail. That roller. Good rollers. I do not love that hard one in there necessarily. Oh!
30 love.
Good hands from Orban there. Nice.
30-15.
I think Rhazail thought he had it around him. He could have stepped up a little closer to the net there, but Orban with the good range and the good read. Oh,
30 all.
tries to the backhand reach cutter. We do see players who have it. And I've seen, Levanat do it, but I wouldn't say he owns it. It's a high risk ball for him.
It's a tough ball to do that on, too. Oh, there's it
all
again.
big.
The forehand that Goncalves pulls across.
Well, what I don't like about it more than anything else is you're in a position where they're giving you some points and you're starting to come back in the match. Why take a high-risk ball that you're
I think he
more
didn't have
likely
a
to
good
miss than
play on the
others?
volley, so he figured I might as well try this. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, possibly.
Whoop.
Nice ball there from Rhazail.
He made it, but it came off his body.
Yep.
Advantage
Off his
Rhazail.
paddle into his body. It was a setup. He had him off the net with the
Rhazail,
down up
Levanat.
overhead.
5-all.
How about that? There we go, Lauren.
5-5.
We said it
First
was
set.
going to be a 3-hour match.
Well, this definitely will go towards that.
We're at 1 hour and 5 minutes, so if they play 3 sets, there you go.
Nice.
Whoop.
Surprised to
Traffic
see
jam.
Levanat not take that out of the air. Tricky blitz.
That's a good move when they hit that low,
Well, he got that one low on the
Up 15.
backhand. He held it.
yeah.
And I think I would have liked to seen Orban and Goncalves do is, a little
30.
turnaround. How about that? And it all starts from the giveaways.
It's crazy the momentum shift here.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, except we see it all the
15,
time,
Yeah.
Lauren.
But, it felt like, even though it was close, the games were close, it felt like Goncalves and Orban were sort of controlling the pace of play and dictating more. Now it feels the opposite.
Oh. Push volley.
30 all.
He's telling himself that. He's telling himself, keep your hands still.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I saw that back.
Yep. Good call there from Levanat. Good lead,
30,
too.
40.
He was planning on hitting it, and he recognized the pace of that volley, so. Aye.
Deuce.
Deuce.
Good switch there from Goncalves and Orban. All right. Nicely done. Starting to move
Advantage,
forward, put
Levanat.
more pressure on the play.
He's moving forward much more,
Yeah,
Levanat.
he's attacking
Yeah.
more as opposed before he was stopping and just hitting that little push forehand, you know, and now he's actually following it up with an attack move, which just adds pressure. And as a consequence, you know, Orban and Goncalves are going to have to make sure they close off that net there. Here comes the forehand. Oh, actually, you had Rhazail sneak in there, take that ball. No, he's not set.
Deuce.
If you get Levanat moving, you get a lot more mistakes out of him.
You can see the difference when his feet are under him and when he's lunging for the ball.
You know, and that's just long. All right.
Advantage, Orban.
And one of the great things is the international flavor in the game these days. You got Andy Orban, and you got, you know, who's from DC area, but then you got Goncalves, who's Brazilian. You got Levanat, South African, and Faisal Rhazail, I believe he's Moroccan actually. So it's a cool little United Nations out there. Good move there from Goncalves. Oh,
Deuce.
there we go. Seeing a little more lively feet now out of Rhazail. He was netting some of those forehands earlier. That was a good one. Look at that. You can see a cameraman just in the top of your screen there taking some pictures of the players. Maybe that'll jazz up their feet a little, get them moving more for the action shots.
Advantage, Levanat.
All right, let's see. 4 games in a row. Point for 4 games in a row here for Levanat and Rhazail. There it is. 4 games
that
in a row.
Big forehand when he's
Rhazail,
set.
Levanat.
Such a difference.
Oh no, he
They
can
lead
hit.
Yeah.
That's his
first set.
shot.
Yeah.
That's his
6
best
games
shot
to
by a
5.
margin.
Well, from 5-2, 40-15, down 6-5.
Yep. All right, so that's some turnaround there, Lauren.
I'll say.
You know, but it's a turnaround that was clearly helped by Orban and Goncalves.
Yeah.
You know, they're definitely feeling their feet a little more, getting more attacking plays in there. It started when they looked to blitz a couple. They started to execute a little better, but definitely just a few more mistakes, or a lot more mistakes, actually.
Yeah,
out of
well, they gave away
Goncalves and
one
Orban.
whole game in there.
Yep.
The game that Goncalves served. He gave that game away, and, you know, you can't just hit a few quick winners and paddle and get yourself out of a situation. You have to grind it out.
That's a good ball. Good look. Oh, good look from Orban to blitz there.
Well, 15.
One thing that's great about Goncalves is he's a positive guy.
Yeah.
He always is positive.
And he's a smart thinker on the court. He may not always hit the right shot, but he knows what to do.
Oh, no, he's a great pro.
Yeah.
Well, 30.
Rhazail's got that one high in his wheelhouse, just nets it. All right. So here we go. Another little conference there. See, Levanat hadn't even looked up to see if they were ready to receive serve. That's a good move. Tired feet there from Levanat, but
40.
that is Goncalves' best shot, the dipping forehand, and nice blitz follow-up. So triple break point. We're maybe heading to a breaker here. We'll see.
That would be fitting.
Well, they were down 15-40. This is where they were at 2-5, 15-40 when Levanat was serving, when it all turned around. Oh.
15-40.
See, and that shot I don't understand. You're going for a low margin wide ball when you need every point. You got to make sure you get this game. You haven't gotten it yet.
Right.
All you did was get to a break point. You know, win the first one if you can. Oh, and there's
30,
two back.
40.
And again, just
Yeah, unnecessary errors, not forced errors.
oh, good little half foul there from Rhazail. Oh,
Yeah.
top of the net. Great shot.
Game, Goncalves, Orban.
Here we
First
go.
set, 6-6. Tiebreaker.
Someone will finally win this set. Definitively.
Yeah, we're going to be at like an hour and 20 minutes when it's all said and done, probably. All right. Serving to the ad court to start the tiebreaker. The unique thing about the platform tennis tiebreaker, 1 point to the ad, then switch sides. Everybody serves 2 points after that, and you switch every 4.
And the reason for that, as opposed to the way a tennis tiebreaker works, is that everybody serves on the same side they've been serving
Yeah,
the whole set.
makes a lot of sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Actually would make sense in tennis, too.
Yeah. But so much of tennis is singles. I think that's what the tiebreaker was originally developed for. Didn't take it into account.
There's the big forehand from Levanat. That's the shot. Ooh.
You know what? That
Just
was
wide.
super close.
I mean, from our vantage point,
Yeah.
it was moving so fast, I can't call it. I mean, I can't call it in. It just looked
1-0.
really close. You're right.
Goncalves, Orban.
All right, so that's 1-0 for Goncalves Orban and our first set breaker. But like that, he's hitting that forehand.
He
there
hit that
now.
ball so flat.
Yeah, that's back.
You know, we talk about
2-0.
you know, nationals and kids playing paddle and junior paddle and the growth of the game and lifetime games. So Levanat and Rhazail, both their kids won the 12 and under junior nationals this year. So congratulations to them. Proud parents. Wonder if the kids are home watching this match saying, hey, we won the junior nationals. Come
They're
on,
probably in
guys.
school.
You better win the round of 128. No, I'm sure they kept them out of school for this.
2 serving 1.
See, that's the pressure,
Good
though,
pressure.
of the move forward that made him
Two
miss that
serving two.
volley. Good play. Oh, man. He's got to dip that a little when the ball's not that high. He's got to put a little roll on it. I mean, that thing only went over the net by about 2-3 inches, but it went out by 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's how hard and flat it was.
Goncalves, Orban. Lead the first set tiebreaker, 3-2.
Yep. So, Levanat down 2-3. Good blitz.
Oh, great blitz. Oh, he
3-3.
just didn't finish it.
Yeah, we're seeing just some. That was a great play, and I love the blitz off the Goncalves return because he keeps consistently getting it lower than the net. But got to execute. You know, there are things that a lot of players do as they advance in the game. You know, Orban right now, you can see the shots he's going to hit. He doesn't hold the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his paddle out ready. You know if he's going to lob. You know when he's going to drive. And a lot of guys learn how to keep their movements economical, hold them tight, and then quickly release it, quickly lob it up. All that stuff that comes with experience. They're working him here in this point, keeping the ball completely away from Goncalves. Oh! Nice lob volley choice there from Levanat. Oh! That was strange. Like Rhazail was right there to play the ball, and then I'm not sure if he thought it was in the net or whatnot. He inexplicably let it go. It went behind him, and then Levanat was sort of hanging out to dry.
Yeah, he was surprised.
I don't see how he couldn't have been surprised. I mean, I thought he was hitting it too. That was big little turn. They had. I like the way they were playing that point too. There's some forward movement again from Levanat, like that.
Orban did a good job of just getting right on top of the net, committing to that volley.
The energy ramping up here a little bit as we get deep into this tiebreaker. Oh, if we talk about shifting the play or hitting it overhead, that has a purpose. That was more just, I'm going to hit it somewhere else. And he lays it right on the Rhazail forehand, who puts a nice down the line, and they lose the net and lose the point. Good positioning there from Orban.
Yeah, he's not afraid to get right on top of that net, which is not always so easy when someone is slamming the ball at you from close by.
That is about the 7th Rhazail forehand, or maybe more, in the net.
Lead the first set tiebreaker, 5-4.
Yeah, he's missed them all in the net.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's missed one long. And there's, you know, they say in the old adages, there's two things you never want to do: never drive the ball to the net, and never lob the ball long.
Right. Because then you definitely lose the point.
In either case, you definitely lose the ball. At least you get it over. The guy's on the net. He may have to volley it.
Yeah.
He's going to put a little more air on that forehand. He hasn't quite found it. He did a good one on the point before, but... Aye.
5 serving 5.
He let that ball stay behind him. He's got to get behind it, move with it, hold the paddle up in there, and then release that shot. It's way back behind him. Ooh. shot there from Goncalves off the let cord. And this is how they did it last time. They're trying to work out Orban over there. Good hard third panel smash there. Yeah, they're definitely working Orban. Nick. Oh, Rhazail left it and hit it at the same time. He's trying to let it go.
Tried to let it go.
Did not have his paddle up and away.
6-5.
So this is set point now from Goncalves and Orban. This is, I think, it's just their third set point, actually. I think
Yeah.
They had the two in that game at 5-2, and that was it.
5-2.
They might have had one more, actually. Might be their fourth. Oh, killer.
6
All right.
6.
Who wants it?
I think they all do. It's the problem.
Kelly, our production manager. Kelly wants it. He wants it.
Good recovery from Orban, though. He stepped right up and
The next one
hit a
in.
good serve. Yeah, well, we'll talk about it after this point.
Yeah, we're getting some scores and updates. A little bit of an upset there on the women's side.
Yeah, Nutting and Williamson beat Bodman and Olmuller.
How about that? And Bobbin and Olmuller were our 15th seed.
15th?
Yep. So how about that for a first round upset? That's big.
Yep. That's the only seeded team to lose in the first round, which is really the
That's
second
it.
round.
Wow, great
Goncalves
shot.
and Orban lead the first set tiebreaker, 7-6.
That was big. So another set point for Goncalves and Orban. All right. Goncalves, he's been putting the ball in the box very well, but I thought he was holding the ball. I was going to say, I thought it was Levanat serve.
Yeah, Orban served last.
All right, so here's the step here. Levanat's got to first put it in the box, and he's playing from what I've seen, the best shot on the court so far in the first set has been the Goncalves forehand.
It's a good serve.
It was a very good serve. Drive him into the body. So that was hurdle number one. Oh, that's
asking for trouble.
yeah. Not love that play. Oh, goodness gracious.
gracious is right.
7 serving 7.
You cannot fear success. You gotta just put that lob in there.
And now the serve is long.
All right.
And now Goncalves is going to get to serve, and he has been serving very well.
Yeah, I
Goncalves,
haven't
Orban,
seen. I don't think
with the
Rhazail
first
take
set side
any
tiebreaker,
cuts
8-7.
on the return to serve off the Goncalves serve. And he's not going to do it here either. He's going to lob it up. That was a good roller there.
Had a few confusing moments in that middle there. I take a deep breath when it goes there.
Oh, there it is again. Yeah. I mean, that's, you're right. They have had a few in there. That is
There it
out.
is.
And there it is on a loose, wide
Goncalves and
lob
Orban,
error.
first set.
How
Match
many minutes
set
was
point.
that, Kelly, our
7-6.
producer?
9-7.
Hour and a half.
So
Hey, you got 2 minutes here, guys.
yeah, 30 minutes. And That's the first set there to Goncalves and Orban.
We will be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA network presented by eNet Live.
Hey, mister, are you a roto-rooter plumber?
Guilty.
Did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Toilet overflow?
Nope.
Pipe break?
Getting warmer.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
How long can you hold your breath? Is that your real hair? What's the birds and the bees? Do you know where my grandma is?
You know, I don't know.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Easy. They get.
No? Welcome back to the 2019 APTA National Championships. We are about to start the second set of this first round match between Guga Goncalves and Andrew Orban and Rhazail.
Yeah, Carl Levanat and Faisal
Levanat.
Rhazail.
I can't say his name.
That's
Rhazail.
okay.
I mean, it's
I'm-
an easy name.
I'm
I
here
can't
for
say
you.
it. I don't have pronunciation issues either. Anyway, that first set was a doozy, Brad. It was an hour and a half long. It ended 10-8 in the tiebreaker.
Yeah, well, we said it was going to be a close set. It was actually, I think it was 9-7 of the tiebreaker, but we said it was going to be a close set, and it couldn't have been any closer. But
No.
clearly, Goncalves and Orban, they were up 5-2 and 40-15, and from that point, basically every time they had an opportunity to do something or close it out, they missed the ball. Look, there were some really good points, great points, and some good shots, but it was more about the misses and the mistakes than it was, just the good shots. It was whatever team could just execute a few here and there, that team was coming away with it. And Goncalves and Orban really, they worked hard to lose that set as well as they did to win it. They every time they got up,
Yeah,
they
they
would throw
really
a
won it
lob.
a couple times, it felt like. But, all credit to Rhazail and Levanat, who stayed in there and gave themselves chances.
Oh, absolutely. They did, and they stepped up their pace. They started to put some attacking plays in, moving forward, putting more pressure on the first volley. That was big. They got away from just sort of these push drives without any movement. They started getting a little more movement out there. But I kind of look at it almost like the last 2 points of the tiebreaker in that first set where, they end up with it's like a 7-all point, and then there's a match point, and then there's just a missed lob. But then all of a sudden, the next point there's another, and then we finish out with just a missed lob. Not on a
Second
pressure
set,
overhead, just a missed lob.
Zoe to serve.
So if we see if they clean it up, it's still going to be a tight set no matter what. But whichever team cleans it up the most, they're
1:15.
going to have it.
And if Goncalves can continue to really hit that forehand and not make too many errors on it, that's also the difference maker.
Oh, for sure. It's the biggest weapon on the court, I think, that I've seen. Rhazail can, and Levanat can both hit the forehands. Orban uses more rollers than he does like hard forehands, but he can hit it. And great get there from Rhazail.
15-0. $30-15. 30 all.
All right, 30 all. Good point there. Oh, sort of inverted forehand
first he-
backhand. So he did with his backhand on his forehand sides. Inverted screenshot there. Nice read there from Goncalves. Great call there from Rhazail.
40-30.
Do you think, Lauren, that Levanat Rhazail expended
Game,
any
Rhazail,
undue
Levanat.
mental energy or
They lead the
physical
second
energy
set,
trying to make
1
that
game to 0.
comeback in the first set?
I do. I do. It's hard to tell whether that'll end up helping them or hurting them. I mean, they definitely seemed to get fired up and they started playing better. They started moving forward and doing some good things. So even though it probably took a lot out of them and they got nothing to show for it, hopefully they can carry that into the next set.
Yeah, I think that's what they have to show for it. Maybe a better handle on how they want to attack these points, the way they want to pressure the other team. Let's see if they can keep following up there. So
They
good-
look like, they're not hanging their heads. They're staying positive.
There's no way they should be hanging their heads.
Yeah.
They have to know that they just missed way too many lobs, way too many forehands. That if they just clean up their act, they're right there and have as good a chance as anything
Well, 15.
in this match. Yeah, nice shot there
15-0.
from Orban. Like seeing that. Rhazail took that quick ball off the deck there. I thought he'd let it go to the screen, buy some time. Yeah, it's just
15-30.
that's sort of been. If there's a knock on Goncalves, it's that. He hits these fantastic shots from time to time, and then you see 2 faults and a missed easy
15-40.
volley. And that was not a hard volley.
You
The
know, some-
loose ball.
It happens for whatever reason, and players have had just very natural ability in a lot of shots. I mean, we saw the same thing in the women's match with Anna Maria Zubori. She's got every shot in the book. She has to figure out how to harness them. She's doing a very good job. They have a good shot to do super well here, but sometimes when you
30-40.
have so many shots, it's hard to decide what to hit.
That's good position volleys there from Goncalves.
That would have been fun.
Well,
Game.
he wasn't going to play the
only
tweener, but then
11
it hit the seam and
Yeah.
shot to the inside on him, and that was really the only option he had left. It's a good effort. He almost had it.
They lead the second set, 2-0.
All right, so great start here for Levanat Rhazail. Again, helped by Goncalves with 2 faults and a missed volley. Oi.
We've seen why in the past couple of games why
Well, 15.
it's wise to hit backhand volleys and paddle because it's too hard to control the forehand when it's coming so hard at you.
And you have to flip that paddle over. You saw, Levanat just had to slap at that last one.
15. Oh,
Just another missed lob.
yeah, right.
What do you think the goal should be for the lob, Lauren?
Well, to pull the players, your opponents out of the service box.
Yeah, just outside the service box by a foot or so and get it up at least as high as the screens. It's funny, the game has changed a little bit. There were 2 lob
30-15.
errors in a row. Gonna have to tighten those up. I'm not sure if he's trying to hit it over his opponents, but all you're really trying to do is get him just to the back or outside the service box time and time again so you can get the ball you can set up. That was
That
a
one
good
was
one.
good.
Yep, it was great. But I'd rather have 3 that were shorter and in than the 2 other misses, right? All of them shorter in. You really only
course.
want to get it a foot behind that service line. You don't want 1 great and 2 out. You want them all good.
$30.
I don't think he was listening to you, Brad.
He got caught on a little cut right into his body there. Great first volley there from Levanat. Wow. It's a
40-30.
good low return, but a better first volley.
Deuce.
That was game point to go up 3-love.
Yep.
Advantage, Levanat.
Good shot there by Levanat.
Whoops.
Ooh. You know, but I'd like to see him move up the wire,
Game,
get set
Rhazail,
before that
Levanat.
comes.
They lead the second set, 3
He
games to
was
0.
not having his feet underneath him. It was clearly a drivable ball, short right to his forehand, but he's not set. A little too big on the backswing. So a good 3-love start here for Levanat Rhazail in this second set. I feel like there's going to be another change of momentum again, though, because
I don't think the set is over yet. I don't
Yeah.
think the 3-love is indicative of how it's going to end.
what we're seeing right now, I mean, there's great points, but that was an easily makeable ball there from Orban.
Right.
You know, the game before, 2 faults, missed volley. Again, if Orban and, just clean it up. Good blitz
15.
again. The forward move's been the best play for Rhazail and Levanat. Oh, way in. Tricky little ball. It kind of was a
was a
high
miss hit,
flutter.
right, or
yeah,
something?
complete miss hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
15
right there, a
all.
little excessive flick there. 15 all. This is a good serve and stay back there from Orban. That is a
Good little
great
roller.
2 good rollers there from Levanat. But that's the shot you want to play. You don't want to get it in there to the Goncalves forehand like
Right.
that. Right, but he's going to stay back there because there's no percentage coming forward. Wow, big. Oh,
Oy. Backhand overhead.
yeah, that was good little exchange there. Oh, that's a great call and the right call from Goncalves, but I think Orban caught an edge or something.
I think his sneaker's coming apart.
Well, maybe he's not. You know,
15-30.
got to bring an extra pair of
Yeah.
sneakers. You're going to play President's Cup, All Nationals.
Right. You need you need a pair just for President's Cup. What a
Oh,
volley.
it was a great 5-11. That literally was caught completely flat, but he was like, oh,
Yeah. That's back here already?
that came right by me. I should get that. A little late. There it is
Again.
again. You see Rhazail
40-30.
smiling in the camera. That was a
that-
perfect little camera angle. That was well caught there by a production crew. That's so funny. He does the exact same thing that just happened to Levanat. And then you see Goncalves laughing at the net, too. Great shots. Funny.
A little disguise on the lob.
Yep. I have seen
Game.
a lot of missed
Goncalves,
lobs
Orban.
today. A lot of missed
Rhazail
lobs.
and Levanat lead the second set, 3-1.
All right.
All right,
So
the
that's-
score was wrong there, so it's 3-1.
Yep. And they finally got their teeth in it. Like we said, there's going to be a change here. It's not going to be, or at least I think so. I think we're headed for another really deep set, but we'll see. All around the net post. Ah! Goncalves a little tricky up there. He's holding his shot, going with a quick volley. Great hands from Rhazail. And he was trying to let a ball go.
And he caught it almost.
Yep. So 15 love. Good move from Orban. They've got those down pretty well, where they try to move up the side where the other guy covers for 'em.
Covers. Yeah, you gotta, if you're gonna move up the side rail like that, you better be sure your partner knows to cover for you.
In the middle in case you get caught.
Yeah.
But the real key is to move at the right time. You don't want to move over there if your opponent has a overhead inside the service box that he can get into that side screen. You better do it on those little deeper balls.
30 love.
Oh, tricky. Oh, good. Good hands.
Yeah, Orban hit that backhand nicely.
Oh,
30-15.
great lob. Pushes him off the net.
And that, Brad, is why you want to get your opponents out of the service box with the lob.
Well, one of the shots we're seeing very little of today is the shot that we see commonly in the game these days is letting that overhead drop down below your shoulder and hitting a long, deep, almost more like a push volley than even an overhead. We haven't seen that. We've seen a lot of up to down overheads, a lot of high to low overheads. Not nearly as many of the sort of long, low
40-15.
pushes that you'll see out of Max Lipavera or many of the top
Most.
players.
Most.
Yeah, many of the top players these days.
Hit him.
40-30.
All right, 40-30. Got a piece of him there. Great rip there from Goncalves.
Deuce.
job.
You
Kinda-
can get a good view of how Orban is getting worked over there.
Yeah, he's getting worked over
Advantage,
big.
Rhazail.
I would have liked to seen Goncalves take that last ball. He's constant with the rollers, but he doesn't bring like the heavy hammer. So, you know, he's picking away, but I haven't hurt him too
His best
bad.
chance
That's a
is
well-placed
those.
ball
The-
there.
The backhand drive off the side screen is where he's had his best results.
Yeah, they're giving him plenty of balls to
Yeah.
hit. I mean, they're
Yeah.
for sure, because they're not using that long, low, deep overhead. They're hitting the ball up to down a lot. That's out.
Deuce.
Nice move.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
great
Great
pickup.
hands
Wow.
there from Levanat.
Wow.
Just sort of flips the ball over, puts his paddle
Advantage,
down.
Rhazail.
Well done, because that was good play. And then Goncalves almost was a little stunned. He came back, missed an easy sitter there. Oh,
Deuce.
sort of the story that we've seen, right? The good with the bad.
with the bad.
Good with the bad. Oh,
Advantage, Rhazail.
yeah, he pulled up on that one. He usually does such a good job getting over the top of it.
Deuce.
Yeah, that's been his Achilles heel on the volley, hasn't it?
He moves his
Yeah.
paddle. He sort of
Yep.
cuts it. If you freeze framed it, you would see a lot of volleys. You see their paddle be almost completely still, and you'll see his paddle will actually break. The wrist breaks underneath the ball. Add some pace, pops the ball out, lose
Advantage,
control.
Orban.
All right, so this is big here.
Huge. I mean, I think this is a huge game.
But like we said, it's sort of like give and give back a little bit.
Yeah, some matches are streaky and one team wins a bunch of games in a row and then the other team wins a bunch of games. This match has been streaky in that someone will hit a great shot and then they'll hit a bad shot. And
Yeah.
A great shot and a bad shot all together.
Yeah, somebody did a perfect forehand, play a great point, then just inexplicably miss a lob or
Yeah,
routine
no
volley
one's
on a
really
nice
been
ball.
able to build on good play.
Yeah, I would say the only thing we've been able to count on is that it's going to go back the other way eventually, right? You know, somebody's going to make the mistake. We'll see if they can tighten that up. Because there's a lot of good things interspersed, but I got to think with how much Orban's moving, his head is really hot with that hat on.
I keep
mean,
thinking
like,
the hat's going to fall off.
It's got to come off at some
it
point in
doesn't
time.
even look like it's
because it's
very
not that
secure on his head.
It's not that cold out today. Oh, that's a well-placed ball. And then the quick move
Great
from
move.
Goncalves. Wow.
Game,
They-
Goncalves, Orban.
So funny. They worked over Orban like 40
Rhazail,
balls.
Levanat lead the second
One
set,
ball into
3 games to
Goncalves.
2.
He's a quick, sharp backhand up the line. They don't make the full shift over. And he catches him. Great shot.
And now, instead of being down love 3, it's 2-3.
Yep. 2 games in a row there. We did say it's been a lot of give and give back. But that right there, that was an exceptional shot there from Goncalves.
And when you're the player being freezed out, sometimes you get that one ball and you try to do too much with it. Goncalves did a very good job of making the most of his one ball.
No, it's an incredible shot. Yeah, but, you know, Goncalves does that often. He hits a lot of incredible shots. He does. It's the other things that you worry about. The game, like we talked about, 2 missed lobs or 2 faults or
Yeah.
whatnot. nice. Pushing
left.
that volley out. It's not, ball's not high enough for it to be an offensive opportunity. The best opportunity might have had been a drop. Otherwise, just float it deep, take the net. It's a great setup on that point. Great lob.
Just hit the line.
Yep.
Orban was waiting for Goncalves to call it out, but it was in.
Neither team had all that anxious to rush to the net there. They just slow played it.
Nope.
Good shot. I think Goncalves was looking for the drop, snuck in. And Rhazail goes quick and fast behind him. And he gets the miss hit. I think that ball went out of the court. Wonder if Orban's asking for another ball. But Goncalves is going to get it.
Looked right on the line to me. Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, he's asking him. He thought it was Orban thought it was out, but it was the umpire said it was right on the line.
Which one was
15
that?
off.
The lob.
No, I thought that was
Yeah.
for sure in.
Yep.
Is that ball okay?
Little ball inspection there after the ball went over the court there.
15 all.
So we have some women's action after this match, Lauren.
There are going to be some excellent women's matches coming up. Really looking forward to
15-30.
it.
Yeah, it's an interesting draw this year. Really, really interesting. A lot to talk about on the women's side there with, the appearance of Shea and,
Anna Brzova.
Brzova as a 16 seed. So you got a national champion and a many-time #1 in the nation, although never national champion, Amy Shea. That ball's been very effective.
30
You
all.
make Levanat move, and if he can't quite always get underneath him.
Yeah, Gabby Nicolescu back after having her
Right.
baby.
And a little lower. Well, I mean, they're still seeded third, but they won the Nationals last year, just coming back into it. And that side of the draw,
40-30.
you've got Hanisch and Van Starenburg, you got Cruz and Nicolescu, you got Lemery Rohrbach, and then the other side you got Curtis and Stoklosova. So
And Brzova and Shea. And
And
Amy
Brzova and
Shea is
Shea.
going to be a tough out no matter who she's playing with, let alone 3-time national champion.
well, that's a good team. I mean, that is
Yeah.
a
Deuce.
tricky team, and the team that drew them there, they're what you would consider unhappy. It's not a lucky draw.
Well, they play Curtis Stoklosova
Yep.
in round of 16.
And you'd have to consider Curtis and Stoklosova as one of the favorites, even though they're the 4th seed.
They are, definitely. They've
I mean, as great a season as Barrett and Anika have had, I would have to say Curtis and Stoklosova might be, the favorite to come out of there.
Yep.
The only thing that may work against them is having such a team like Brzova and Shea in their round of 16, basically.
Yep.
Nice roller there from Orban. Right on the line. Oh, nobody at the net, and he dumps it. I wonder if he tried to make it too
Advantage
good,
Goncalves.
thinking somebody might be coming in. We haven't seen a lot of that quick transition game. It's
Because-
been a lot more slow play.
Because
right,
it's
so
so
it's-
hard to make that volley in transition, right, Brad?
Yep. Yeah, but I would think you'd see Araya right on top of
Yeah,
the
well,
net there.
he
Certain guys,
he feeds on that transition game.
depends. really what you feel your comfort zone is.
But it appears to me that these guys don't want to be hitting volleys in transition.
Less so. All right, there you go. We'll take it.
Game,
And
Goncalves,
that
Orban.
is evened up.
Second set is tied, 3-3.
Nicely done. So 3-all. They just keep battling away. And I tell you, Lauren, I'm going to call out for some, takeout or something. If they're going 3 here, something's going to have to break here. I mean, this is going to be a good 3-hour match if it goes 3 sets. I mean, the first set alone was an hour and a half. We're up over 2 hours now.
Fortunately for these guys, the format at Nationals, they only played 2 matches today. So it's not like in any other tournament where they'd be playing 4 matches.
Yep.
I mean, you got to be dead if your first match is 3 hours.
Well, we knew going in, and we talked about it earlier, this is the battle. There you see again, and they're hitting the high down to up
15.
overhead rather than letting the ball drop and hitting it long and through the court.
Yeah, they're playing into Goncalves and Orban's hands with those shots.
And I'm not sure what Levanat was doing there. He came back in a little bit, but not really. I'd like to see him either come in or go back.
15-all.
That's so frustrating when you run all the way for that drop shot and then miss it.
And he had a decent look at it. It
Yeah,
wasn't like
yeah,
the
yeah,
ball,
it's not
he
like he was
barely
lunging
got
for
it.
it.
He was just trying to hit a finesse shot back low over the net so he could stay at the net, put some pressure on the other guy, and hit it up while he's there to try and put it away. But got to execute, and we've seen again the
15-30.
flip push volley there. If we could almost freeze frame it a little, you can see how much the paddle's moving as opposed to just keeping it completely still. And again, I'm thinking he's trying to hit an offensive volley there, but I'm not sure why. Because there's no offensive real opportunity there. It's not like he's going to have a put away there. Oh, what a slippery shot there.
He
from
held that
Goncalves.
forever, too. That was
15-40.
really nicely done.
Yep, that was beautiful. He can do amazing things. He's very talented.
He's
That
feeling
is-
good. Guga's feeling
Goncalves,
good.
Orban.
A
They lead the
thumper.
second set, 4-3.
So that quick, good start that we said for Levanat Rhazail, I think that's gone, Lauren.
4 games gone.
4 games gone. Yeah, that was a great shot there from Goncalves. 2 huge balls in a row. That incredible backhand off the screen, the low screamer, and then that thumping forehand. I haven't seen him hit too many of those actually that hard. He totally has that shot. And he's been more rolling it, dipping it low, trying to set up the blitz for Orban. But that was a great thumper right there. So,
Do we see another momentum shift?
we've seen so many. How could I say no?
Yeah.
Basically, I'm fairly convinced that whatever I say, the opposite's going to happen. So I'm gonna stay quiet and let you say, Lauren, what's going to happen.
I don't have any sense. Like, it doesn't. It's usually, you get a sense what's happening, this match feels,
No, it's just dead even, keeping it on
too
each
close
toes.
to call.
That's a good little roller. He kind of holds it, mixes up the paces with it. It's not the heavy spinner that you see from some guys with the big swing, but he
Yeah.
holds it and snaps it.
And he hits it softly enough that it doesn't do anything off the wire. No.
All right.
They're
15
pumped.
left.
Fist pump. Well, hey, take it.
They
I mean, it's just a basic error.
Yeah.
Take every one you get. Your opponent gives it to you. Thank him. Move on to the next point and play a good one.
Return.
Great return, yeah. Nice track down by Orban.
There's some good spin.
Yeah, he let it drop a little. I would love to see more overheads drop out of Rhazail and Levanat. That high up to down overhead hasn't done him a ton of favors. You can certainly tell Orban is willing to grind and work.
I was going to say, as much as he looks like they're working him over and he's struggling in there, he's staying in. They're not getting the error from him.
And this is where, and then after enough balls, what we've seen happen a few times is then they're just going to randomly switch it to Goncalves,
And then they
and
get
he's
caught in
taking
the
his
shift.
shot.
Yeah.
And then, they did get the error
Yeah.
there, so worked him over enough times.
15
So
all.
what's great about what Orban's doing is he's tenacious. He's hanging in there. He's working that, but he's not lobbing to set up a point. You don't see him like controlling a lob up down the line and looking for a ball down the middle.
He's surviving.
He's just surviving. And there he couldn't survive. Oh, wow, what a drop volley there
30,
from
15.
Goncalves. Great shot. He's surviving. He's exactly it. He's not controlling or dictating the action or controlling his lob to a place on the court. But surviving isn't bad, and it's been paid out. It's paid out a few times with them flipping the play to Goncalves and him hitting a winner every now and then. Yeah, great shots. Ooh, good move up the side wire there.
40-15.
All right, big. Good snap forehand there from Goncalves.
Oh, he missed
Goodness.
40-30.
Oh, what an opportunity.
Well, he set it up nicely. Saw it. Didn't execute it, but
he didn't have to pay.
see, but there you go, that game. I mean,
Game.
that's a good look. And in that game, we had the
Goncalves,
missed
Orban.
overhead earlier by
Lead the
Rhazail.
second get.
Missed ball
set,
there. That's
5
really
games,
just
3.
the story of it, right?
Yeah.
That was a good look, though. But you do have to execute your shots. So here it is. Serving to stay in it. That's a good ball. No.
15 love.
Look up to the umpire, but no overrule. Good return there from Orban. Sneaky
all.
move.
And that ball's going down below the level of the net. It's volleyer is volleying up, and they know someone's coming in behind it. It's hard to make that volley.
Well, Goncalves held that just a little, and he recognized that Rhazail was off the net, and he actually took the pace off it and dipped it low. It's a smart play. And then the quick move, Rhazail saw it, tried to come in and hit a better shot, and yeah, he forced the error out of him. That was totally forced by the Goncalves play. All right, down to the wire.
15-30.
2 points from the match. Orban shaking it loose, getting pumped, keeping it positive. Well, it should be positive. He's 2 points from the match. That's 1 point from the match now. This is almost exactly where we were in
Almost.
the last set.
Almost.
15-40 down, except Rhazail serving here. 2 match points now instead of set points.
Wow.
And a heck of a play there. And this is where it all turned around
Yeah.
the last time for Rhazail and Levanat. They got it to the tiebreaker. They got up 6-5, actually, won 4 games in a row. Wow, great lob. That was big. Ooh. Oh! Oh. Doesn't want to press the attack there. I thought he would.
That was a lot of swing for almost nothing.
Oh, and there it is. Game, set, and match for Goncalves
Game,
and Orban.
Goncalves, Orban.
7-6, 6-3.
They win the second set. 6-3.
And it ends up being 2 hours
They win the
and
match,
7
7-6.
minutes.
Which was
6-3.
nothing. I thought it was going to
Thanks,
go
guys.
4 hours. I mean,
Nope.
after an hour and a half first set.
I tell you, it was a real battle, thanks to our umpire, Drew Shields. And we'll be back in a moment after these messages with some more action right here on the APTA network, presented by eNet Live.